Hey there. Just to recap our um, little blooper video, Dylan and I went camping up in Rancho Sedona, and as you can tell, the hot water heater that we were trying to create a video on how to light the hot water heater actually didn't light. We took it apart with the help of RV Mobile Repair. Took apart the line and everything, took apart all the pieces there in the actual hot water heater where the line feeds in, and we realized that a spider, which I think was a black widow based on the nest, had created a had created a nest at the very tip of where the propane comes into the pilot. The little pilot light. Normally, you put it on pilot, you push the red button, and you click the lighter, and a little pilot light comes on. You turn it to on, and the hot water lighter heats. But in this case, the black widow's nest was so perfectly positioned in the tip that the propane couldn't get out. So it literally was acting like a plug for the propane. So we literally just blew it out with air, and no spiders were harmed in the creation of this video. And so you can see sometimes behind the scenes when we try to create these videos, things don't go as planned. So it was a lot of fun anyway. We first didn't think we'd share it, and now we are. So enjoy, and it really does work just like we showed to light that hot water heater. And normally it's very quick and easy. So enjoy. Hope you have a great day. Thanks.
Hey guys, it's Michael with Wildly Graceful. We are out here back at Rancho Sedona, and we had a request to show you how to start the hot water heater on the Lantern 17B. It can be a little tricky, so I get why folks are asking about a video to how we do it. So the first thing, you're like, why aren't you by the water heater, Michael? Well, I'm up here by the propane because guess what? Our water heater is propane powered. So the first thing I'm doing is turning on our propane. Now I'm purposely stalling because that propane has to go through the line, right? If I went over there and just immediately tried to light it, chances are the propane hasn't really pressurized that line. So just give it a second, just hang out, enjoy beautiful Sedona, or marvel at your 17B. Stella here needs to be cleaned. She's a little dirty. As I move my way back to the hot water heater, most of you know that the hot water heater is under this cover. This cover gets really hot. I mean, like touch it and you're gonna get a complimentary Coleman Lantern 17B tattoo, because touching this will leave great marks on your hands. So this is obviously cold. We just pulled into the campsite, we just leveled, we did all of our startup procedures, and now the water is the other key component of this. We hooked up the water line and pressurized the water, meaning I ran the kitchen sink to bring water, make sure that water was flowing into the trailer before I light this. The other thing that you can do is you want to make sure, here we have a little bit of a trickle leak. It's been hooked up for about an hour, so just having a little drop here tells me that there's water in the tank, right? So you also want to remember that this right here is your drain valve. It's a little hard to see, but when you want to drain your hot water heater, you just unscrew this and all the hot water will come out. So make sure that you let the hot water cool, right? So turn it off, let it cool down before you just open that up. Otherwise it's going to be really hot water. All right, so we have lots of components here. This dial here actually just controls the temperature of the water once it's lit. Has nothing to do with lighting it. So I've seen a lot of people try to mess with this. You can mess with it, it just has nothing to do with lighting it. When we're lighting it, we're up here and we're in here. Now there's multiple models of hot water heaters on the 17B. This just happens to be the one that we have. It does require you to light it. So there is no, this red button is not an ignition switch. There's nothing like that going on here, all right? I've seen some people turn it and they're like pushing this button thinking it's like your barbecue at home and it's an auto lighter. That isn't the case. I need a lighter, right? So let's make sure our lighter has a flame. That's also important. And then you'll notice it's in the off position. As soon as I open this up, propane's gonna start moving in here, all right? So I'm gonna open it up, I'm gonna move it to pilot. When I'm on pilot, there's a little divot in this dial that's gonna allow me to push that button through. It's kind of a primer, and I can actually smell it coming in. So again, I'm just waiting, I'm waiting, right? And I'm waiting for the propane to get back here. And I'm just in here lit. And you're like, when will I know that it's lit? You'll actually hear it, see it, like it will really light. So I'm just gonna kind of turn it to on. Again, I'm just trying to get the propane to flow back here, all right? That's all I'm doing. It's getting the propane to move back to the tank. And I'm in the tube, and absolutely nothing's happening. And I'm hearing it, so I'm hearing a little. That's telling me that the propane is working its way back here. It's trying to get back here. And you think, it's got this big run, why isn't it back here? It just isn't. Doo-doo. This is really exciting. Doo-doo. Anybody got any good bear jokes, maybe? Bear jokes? Behind the camera today is Dylan. Dylan and I camping out here in Sedona.
Struggling to get a fire lit.
Struggling to get a fire lit. All right. Here we are. We've just went up and checked the propane, closed the valve, opened the valve, make sure that we had propane, which, you know, you might go, well, that's kind of obvious, right? You can't understand how many times people don't have propane. It's hard to tell unless you put a dial or a regulator on it. So we are struggling. Those of you with those auto starters, yeah, I'm kind of envious of you in the auto starter. See, I'm playing with the dial that I said doesn't do anything. Yeah, a little desperate here to create said video of starting when we are having some trouble.